Mr. Jackson, you say that 41 years ago, you were falsely accused of fathering a little girl, and that accusation has ruined your life, cost you tens of thousands of dollars, steady employment, and your health. Today, you are here to prove the defendant is not your daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Jackson, you say Mr. Jackson is the only father you've ever known, and over the last 41 years, he has treated you like a second-class citizen. You say you have no doubt Mr. Jackson is your father, and you intend to prove it today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, how has this accusation ruined your life?
Your Honor, it has definitely ruined me financially wise, health wise, mental wise. It's at the point where I can't get driver's license, I can't get passport, I used to couldn't keep a job. It ruined my heart, Your Honor, to where I have a pacemaker in me now.
The stress of it.
The stress of it, it ruined my heart.
How long have you been paying support, sir?
I've been paying support since I was maybe 30, Your Honor. I started working for a private contractor. For 18 years, Your Honor, I did not know that I owed child support. And I get a job with a paycheck, it's when I find out I owe child support. Already at that time, I'm $13,000 behind.
In arrears.
Yes. So I could never catch up, Your Honor.
Because the penalties kept accruing. And now you're more than $25,000
Yes,
in
Your
debt.
Honor.
At 63 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jackson, you say you have no doubt this is your biological father.
I have no doubt that this is my biological father.
When were you made aware that he had these doubts?
I was always told by him as a young girl that he had doubts. He would basically just try to mention, things like, he didn't think that, he was the only man that my mom slept with. And
how old were you when he was saying this?
I was like 9 or 10 or 11 years old.
At 9 or 10, you were having to process that information?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson, did you tell her that young that you thought her mom may have slept with somebody else?
I did tell her I had my doubts, that her mom was young at that time and she was seeing more than one person.
So wait, you say you didn't find out you were on child support for 18 years,
yes,
but you did have a relationship with Ms. Jackson.
Speaking of her mother or
It
her?
wasn't the kind of relationship that most daughters would have with their father.
What kind of relationship was it?
I considered him as a homie.
A homie?
Yeah, as a homeboy. And because of that, he never treated me as if I was really his daughter.
Wait, I need to understand that. What do you mean as a homeboy?
Well, because I was never really embraced by Mr. Jackson as his daughter. I was always feeling like I was just someone there who he had a relationship with my mom, that I was just there.
What was the nature of the relationship with Ms. Jackson's mother?
At the time I was married.
Oh, okay.
And I knew it was wrong, but I did it.
So what happened when she told you she was pregnant?
I told her it was not my child, Your Honor.
Did you say that because you didn't believe that was your child? Or did you say that because you knew you were married and you knew you were wrong?
At that time, I believed a little both, Your Honor.
Okay, that's honest. I want to know.
Yes.
So did your wife ever find out?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
And what happened then? Did it break up your family?
For a small period of time, it did, and we got back together.
Did you have visitation? Did you see her regularly?
For years, I really didn't know where they were, Your Honor.
That's not true. He knew where we were. Mr. Jackson, he chose to live the life that he chose to live. He knew where we were. We wasn't very far. I stayed in contact with his mother. I stayed in contact with my siblings.
How did you know, as a child, that he knew, Mr. Jackson, where you and your mother were?
Well, he's on my birth certificate first and foremost.
He is?
Yes, he's on my birth certificate.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you have that birth certificate here?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Jerome, can you hand me that? So, did you know you were on the birth certificate?
No,
did you
I
sign
didn't. I never signed nothing, Your Honor. My signature is not on there.
So this is the birth certificate for Quanisha Jackson.
That's me.
And listed under father is your name, Charles Jackson.
My name is actually Charlie Jackson Jr., Your Honor.
So
Her
you're
mother
saying-
called me Charles.
But your name, your legal name is Charlie.
Charlie Jackson Jr., Your Honor.
So you're saying the fact that Charles is written here is indicative of the fact that the mother gave the name and not you.
The mother gave Charles, Your Honor.
So what you're saying is that you didn't sign this. You didn't tell someone I
didn't
want my
sign
name listed.
anything. I did not know the day that she was born.
And so you're saying when she was born, you didn't even know.
Not the day she was born.
You
I did not know.
never went to doctor's appointments. You never did
I
any of that.
never went to none of that, Your Honor.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Mr. Jackson, what other doubt do you have?
There was another man at the time that I was seeing her mom. I'm going to say just her mom was fast. That's the way I'm going to put it, Your Honor.
So you're going to say respectfully that you felt like her mom was promiscuous?
Yes, Your Honor.
My mom told me that he has been the only man that she slept with, and that's how it has been throughout their relationship. I
am not a bad person. I have love in my heart for kids. I have taken care of kids that's not even mine, Your Honor.
But why he never treated me like a daughter, since he has so much love in his heart? Why was I always treated like little trash off the street?
No, I've reached out to her at times and times, but she goes into a shell where she don't talk to nobody, she don't call nobody.
What about the time I asked Mr. Jackson when I was 9 or 10 years old? Him and my mother had came back together to live together, and we had ice cream trucks in the neighborhood. So one day I asked my Mr. Jackson if I could have 25 cents so that I could buy ice cream, and he told me he didn't have it. And I said, well, do you have 10 cents, 15 cents, a nickel? And he said that he didn't have either or. But I would see him go to the liquor store and buy alcohol or whatever he would, buy for himself, but he couldn't even give me 25 cents
that part is
to buy
not
an
true
ice
at all,
cream.
Your Honor.
And that stuck with me all my life. And he has no idea the damage that has caused upon my mental capacity to deal with that. And
Well,
to
you're
reason
here.
with that.
Tell him today.
That has caused some tremendous pain, some serious psychological issues in my life, to the point to where I've had issues with choosing functional men. I can't choose functional men because I don't know what that looks like.
If I've done anything to hurt you when you were small, I apologize. But I wish you had to let me know way before now and told me. But at the same time, Your Honor, we wasn't around each other for years. Had I have known, it would have been a lot better than this.
Because you don't even remember the moment.
No, I don't, Your
And it
Honor.
has stayed with her for over 20 years.
Yes, Your Honor. I just don't. I don't remember that.
So, Mr. Jackson, you don't believe she's your biological child. You just didn't believe it. You never knew for certain.
I don't, Your Honor.
And one of the things you talked about in your court papers is you believe there's a medical reason why. Because she did not have a certain trait or deal with stuttering.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain that.
Most of my kids, all of them, as a matter of fact, when they get nervous or lying even, they'll stutter. She doesn't have that.
I want to learn more about this. The court has called upon an expert, Molly Dale. She's with the Chatterbox Speech and Language Clinic. Jerome, can you please escort Ms. Dale into the courtroom?
Your Honor, I've had issues with stuttering, but it's not severe. It's very mild, but I just psychologically choose to speak, in a way to where I won't have to stutter like that. But I've had issues with it before.
All right. Hello, Ms. Dale. We are here today, of course, attempting to help Ms. Jackson determine whether or not Mr. Jackson, a man she believes is her biological father, is in fact so. And during his testimony, he has talked about all of his children suffer from stuttering. Is stuttering an inherited trait?
Frequently it is, and there's a strong genetic component with stuttering. About 60% of people who stutter have family members that stutter as well.
And then she talked about, in her testimony just recently, having to deal with a slight level of stuttering. Is the severity or lack thereof any indicator?
No, you can have someone in a family who is severely, profoundly a stutterer, and then you can also have someone that is a mild stutterer as well.
Now that you've heard this testimony, does it further your belief that this is in fact your biological father, or does it affect it in any way?
I feel that he's my father based on a lot of different characteristics that, you know, he and I show, like our eyes and our nose.
And Mr. Jackson, after hearing all of the testimony today, how do you feel?
I still don't believe I am her biological father.
All right. Mr. Jackson, you've brought a witness as well.
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
I'd like to hear from that witness. Jerome, can you please escort them into the courtroom? Hello, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, my name is King David Gabriel Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, what relation are you to Mr. Jackson?
It's my stepdad.
This is your stepfather?
Yes.
And what testimony would you like to offer to this court today?
Well, as far as my dad, he's cool. And I know that growing up, it was hard for him to do what he wanted to do for us because he had no money. We still ate, we still had clothes and everything. And he never neglected none of us, none of his real biological kids or his stepkids. He treated us all the same.
Did he ever say, I may have another daughter, I have another daughter, and this is your sister?
Not really, no.
And so when you saw Ms. Jackson, who did you think she was?
More like a friend.
So you don't believe your father, Mr. Jackson, would have denied Ms. Jackson if he truly felt she was his biological daughter?
No, he wouldn't have.
Because you are not, in fact, his biological child.
No, I'm not.
But he raised you as his own.
Yes.
Mr. Jackson, why is it that she did not receive the same level of acceptance as your stepchildren did? Because she potentially could be your biological child.
No,
I feel like
did.
he
Yes,
should have
Your Honor.
gotten a DNA test a long time ago. From the time that Mr. Jackson and my mother conceived me, he has always felt that my mother slept with someone else and that it's a possibility I'm someone else's child.
Do you regret not having that DNA test, sir?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
What is that in your hand, Mr. Jackson?
This is in my hand, Your Honor, is a letter I wrote
May I see
I
that?
wrote to the court to try to get help.
So you sent this letter to the court in your home state?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. It was 3 years ago, Your Honor.
And the letter reads, I don't have any amount that I can offer for compromise because I only get $1,352 a month. Child support takes $448 a month from my income, and I am 60 years old. I did not know I owed child support for 18 years. I am able to get unemployment in which child support takes a good part of it. I really hope I can get this case a solution. I'm not trying to get free money or anything like that. It seems like I'm never going to be able to take care of this. Please help. Signed, Charlie Jackson Jr. So you basically wrote this plea to
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
court in your home state
Yes, Your Honor.
because you felt like you had no opportunity to resolve this and you didn't know what to do.
True, Your Honor.
All right. Well, fortunately, you have submitted to a DNA test as ordered by this courtroom, and I have the results for you. Jerome, the envelope, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jackson Jr. versus Jackson, when it comes to 41-year-old Quanisha Jackson, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Jackson Jr., you are her father.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I love you very much, and I'm very sorry. I hope from this day on, we can be a father and a daughter instead of your homeboy.
I've always knew that you were my dad, but I chose to be a friend to you so that I can help keep us connected some kind of way until you were ready to embrace me as your daughter.
Thank you, daughter.
You're welcome, and I do forgive you.
Thank you, daughter.
You're welcome.
Ms. Foster, you've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that the defendant fathered your 17-month-old daughter, Sienna, a beautiful little girl born with extreme medical needs. You've dragged him to court to order he pay the support he's been neglecting. Mr. Fields, you say you're 100% certain that you are not her child's father because she was pregnant before you met.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim to have proof to support your case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Foster, tell me about Sienna and what exactly has Mr. Fields done for her?
He has done nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. He brought her about 3 onesies and 2 pair of socks.
And she has medical needs. I'm sure you have extreme financial hardship associated with maintaining her health.
Tiana had 3 surgeries. She had open heart. She had diaphragm and a G-tube. Right now, she's having some development problems. So we're just having follow-ups in Syracuse with all the rest of her doctors.
And there's just been no support.
He came to the hospital probably about 4 times, but when he was there, it was just to have relations with me.
No, I think that's a lie, Your Honor. I think that's a lie. I met Shania on Facebook. You understand? Shania proclaimed to be a virgin. She came and seen me about the 31st of May that month.
What happened the first night?
She came to my house, you understand? She had bought some new shorts. I was trying to be respectable, and I asked her, do you want to go in the bathroom and change your clothes? She tells me no. Take off her pants right there in front of me. I'm still sitting in the bedroom. One thing led to another.
This is the first day you met her?
First day I seen her.
You had sex that night on the night she got dropped off?
The day she got dropped off, I had sex with her. Her mom came and picked her up because her mom came to my house and picked her up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you said she was a virgin?
She was not a virgin, Your Honor. I had multiple stories of her telling me how many dudes she done, slept with and all that. This girl was not a virgin.
Ms. Foster, he said that you were saying you were a virgin at that time. Were you?
I was practically, before him, there was some
What's
other guy.
practically?
There was
How
some
can you
other
be
guy.
practically a
There was
virgin?
some other guy
That's
before him, and I
impossible.
don't count that as a partner.
You said you were practically a virgin.
Yeah.
You can't practically be a virgin.
What
Oh,
does
yeah, when they made
practically
us
a
ill.
virgin mean?
Practically mean it didn't go all the way.
What do you mean?
So
You
wait a
stopped
minute, let me
talking to him.
understand this, Ms. Foster. What you're saying is you had intercourse with someone previously, but you did not finish the act.
Yes.
Okay. Is that written somewhere that that's called practically a virgin? I've never heard that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
even laughing.
Thank you.
Have you ever heard of that, Jerome?
I've never heard of that one.
If I was in Syracuse and Jay Qual had a phone and I called him and told him where I am, he would come to me.
How long ago was
I
that?
don't know this whole front that he's on right now, but I think it's because his girl's here, whatever wife, whatever she wants
Your
to be.
Honor, I got
Because
evidence
if
that
I was to
Shania
call
just
him,
called my
or
mother
if I
asking
was
her
calling
for
him,
my phone number.
If I was on
Wait a
him,
minute, Mr. Fields, you say you have evidence that
I
says
have evidence that my mom just called my phone saying that Shania called her asking for my phone number.
I did not
Inboxing
call
And
my
her.
what
little
would be
brother-
wrong?
I
What
didn't
would be
call
wrong
her.
with that?
Inboxing my little brothers
What is
on
wrong
Facebook.
with that?
There's no need for it. We was already coming here. What was the need for her?
So you're
to-
saying that she was inboxing your mother and your brother trying to chase you down
Yep.
because
she was
Listen,
even
if you're
saying she's
texting my wife.
Your Honor.
she's
Your Honor.
texting your wife trying to get in touch with you.
I never
she was
text his
texting my
wife.
wife
I
and-
never text his wife. I have never known
we
of
got
her until
evidence,
3
we got
days ago.
evidence.
Let's get some order. You're saying that Ms. Foster was trying to get your number and was texting your brother and your mother trying to get your phone number. I'm asking you, why is this out of the ordinary if she believes you're her child's father? Of course she would
Because
try to get in touch with you. You think she's trying to get in touch with you because she wants to be with you?
No. Listen, I'm married. I'm really happy married. You
Where's the
understand?
ring?
What it is
Where's the ring?
Shania.
Bring evidence of that. Where's the paper? Where's the marriage certificate? Where's that?
So what is the problem with her trying to get in touch with you?
What it is Shania, I don't know what I did but Shania is like really, really like obsessed.
Obsessed.
And what she'll do,
I
like, she'll
left
text
you.
my wife.
I left you. You were crying to me, begging to come back with me. How you want your
all the way-
family.
So why would you make my life a living hell?
I don't even talk to you. I haven't talked to you in a while. Like, I don't understand where he's coming from. He just was talking to me 2 days ago.
No, I wasn't.
Telling me how he loves me, how this is not going to work because his family doesn't like
wait,
her.
time out, because now you're lying.
Everything.
Now you're lying.
And I have evidence right here, actually.
Yo, show me
You
some
do?
evidence.
Yes, I do.
Jerome, let me have that
I was
evidence.
talking to you.
This evidence shows what,
That
Miss
this
Foster?
is not going to last with her.
Where that's coming from?
This is temporary.
What is this?
A Facebook
A
message.
Facebook message
I haven't
that
had
says, I still have love for you that will never change. I wish we would have had a longer relationship. Even with my girlfriend now, our relationship not going to last long.
Listen, I haven't had
This
a Facebook.
is from Mr.
I have
Field?
not had a
Yes, it
Facebook
is.
in 6 months.
Yes.
You're saying you didn't write this
Listen,
post.
I didn't write it. I don't get on
He's
Facebook. I
lying
don't
so
own a
bad.
Facebook.
This is a whole front right now. I swear to God, I'm telling you, Jay Quell knows I'm that woman. If I wanted him, I can have him.
You couldn't.
I can have him, and he knows that. This is a front right now.
Did you ever have sex with Miss Foster without protection?
And I would
No, I
have
had
been, I'm a real
protection.
person.
I had protection, Your Honor. This girl said she was on the
Never.
Depo. The Depo shot is birth control. Approximately 99% effective from not getting pregnant.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I have not became on the depot, and I haven't even dealt with him since January until last month. When I was with him, I was on the pill, and I didn't take it that day.
We talk about before the baby was born.
Were you
And he was there at the hospital,
Your
too.
birthday, you thought the baby
He was there at
here?
the hospital.
So, Mr. Fields, you came to the hospital for the birth. And why was that if you didn't think the child was yours?
Because of the medical condition that the baby was in. You know, I didn't want to just up and leave.
He was there through the whole pregnancy, basically, and except a month. And I just feel like if you were there and you thought of denial of if I was already pregnant or whatever, then why were you there through the whole time? Why did you come into my home? My mom accepted you. You're staying the night in my house.
Your mother's here, right? Please stand, ma'am. Step up to the podium.
Okay.
What would you like to add to this, and what do you know about this situation?
He was involved in the beginning of her pregnancy. He was there. He went to doctor's appointments. When we went to Syracuse, he would he would meet us at the doctor's appointment. He would stay there. He would be there. He comforted my daughter. He was worried, he was asking questions about the baby because they found 3 holes in her heart. Because he was involved with my daughter and because he was concerned about my grandchild, I accepted him. Me and my husband accepted him. I sat down with him. Me, my husband, my daughter, and Jay Quill all sat down in my living room.
Yep.
And we said, do you want to be with her? If you don't want to be with her, don't think because of this baby, you have to be with her. He said, I promise you, this is the girl I am going to marry.
I did not tell you nothing like that.
That's what he said.
Mr. Field, you're saying you don't believe you are Sienna's father.
Nope.
But you've been present
I was.
for so much of the pregnancy, even in the beginning, her birth. Why is it that you decided to just leave the entire situation alone and turn your back on it?
Because it wasn't left up to me. That's the reason why.
So it would have been your choice to stay
I was
to
thinking,
support the child?
Yeah, I would have did what I had to do for the baby, but it wasn't left up to me. So like I said, well, why would she put me through this? So I said, this is not my baby.
I would tell him to come to the hospital, and he wouldn't. He would not show up. And the 3 times he has came, like I said, he would be on the Xbox, or he would be trying to have relations
what do you think happened, Ms. Foster? Why all of a sudden this young man that's going with you to doctor's appointments and sitting down and having family meetings?
His family got into his head.
My mama was in Texas.
Me and his mother actually had a good relationship, so I honestly don't know what happened. Towards the end, I'm not gonna lie, I was really rude to Jay Quell during my pregnancy because I was underneath a lot of stress. I was living an hour away from him, and it was like he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't there. So it was like when I go to an appointment, I expect you to show up to the appointment because you live down the street. If I tell you 2 weeks in a time that my appointment is on this date, then you can take off of work and be there to my appointment. That's the least you can do.
You gonna take off work to come
do you
to my
think?
appointment?
Listen.
She was pregnant with twins.
Not at that
and
time.
she lost the baby. And when she lost the baby, he was there. He was,
He was not there.
I'm not saying
when
he
I
was
told
there,
him I
but
lost
he
my
was-
twin, when I told him that the doctor said the twin was gone, he said, suck it up and get over it. That's what he told me to do.
Life goes on, man.
Mr. Fields.
And then came
Mr.
the next
Fields,
weekend.
I'm trying to work with you because I really do see through this ignorant attitude you're displaying today? I see through it.
It's-
But now, you're getting on my nerves. Now I'm telling you, your little cavalier.
No,
Hold on. This cavalier, I don't care, everything's a shrug of the shoulders, nothing matters to me. When we're sitting here talking about a child that literally is fighting for her life to have a healthy life, and everything is life goes on, I don't care, this, that, and the third. And from where I sit is so fake. I mean, it really is irking me because what you're acting like is so fake, macho nonsense. I can probably do more push-ups than you right now.
I don't think so.
Now hold on.
Listen.
This fake stuff you're doing right now when a child is at stake, sir, this isn't good. You know good and well you talk to these people. You know you cared about this child. When this mother sit here and talks about the conversation she's had with you, I keep coming back to your eyes to see, well, is she lying or is she telling the truth? Did he have that conversation?
No, we did.
Was he there? And everything in your body language says that you were there. What I want to understand is why would a young man that cared enough to sit down in these family meetings, go to appointments, sit here through the birth of this child, all of a sudden now stand in this courtroom and act like nothing matters? What happened? And I'm telling you, I need the answer to that. Because it's important to this child.
They happen.
What happened?
They happen.
There was a point in time at her birth, after her birth, because you're saying when she was born, he was there.
He was there, but before that, Your Honor, we were not on a good page. I actually told him don't even show up to the hospital and I want nothing to do with it.
And then he came anyway.
He came.
Which then furthers my argument of why I want to know, would a young man that you say you're mad at, you're under stress, don't even come, I'm sick of you, we're not getting along, he comes anyway.
Yeah.
That only furthers my point that this thing that you're doing right here is not jiving with me. The man that's acting the way you acting right now,
I don't know
when
him
she
right
said
now.
don't
I don't
even
know him.
come, you'd have been like, oh, well, I'm not going. I'll go over here.
It was because of my mother that was the reason why I
anyway.
came. My mother is the reason why I came.
Right, so what I'm trying to figure out now, there's something now that created a distance. When you started being with your wife and your girlfriend or whatever your relationship is, did you feel support in terms of helping and figuring out what was going on with Sienna, or did you just decide, I need to move on?
At the hospital, it just went from, like, she just went 0 to 100, like, and it was just, her mother calls me going bananas, telling me what she gonna do to me, this and that. So that right there is what actually started this distance.
Started the distance.
Then, you know, I started talking to different females, and then I'm getting, you know, so who is such and such? And then they talk about Shania, and I'm like, well, it's my baby mom's. Well, why she inboxing me on Facebook telling me that you talked to this person, you doing this, you're a liar, you're a cheater.
You also stated earlier in your testimony you felt like Miss Foster was obsessed with you, that just really, she can't get past it and she's calling people and trying to reach you. Does this interaction cause a problem in your new relationship with your wife?
Every day.
That's what I'm thinking.
I did have some type of feeling for Shania, but then when I went and found somebody new, it was like I told Shania I was happy somewhere else.
He never told me that.
Just went like,
he
it went from here to like all the
lie.
way down here.
And so is the distance furthered now?
Yes.
Because of your new relationship and what you say is a difficult back and forth between you and Miss Foster, which only separates you further from Sienna, which you acknowledge could possibly be your child.
Correct.
All right, now I understand the distance and I'm ready for the results. Your own. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Foster versus Fields, when it comes to 17-month-old Sienna Foster, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Fields, you are her father.
I'll step up and take care of my child. Can I hold her?
I want you to hold your daughter, and I want you to help take care of your daughter and be there for her and support her. You got to work together. There's just no other way. You all have talked about a lot of things that have gone on in the past that have kept you apart. But this little girl needs you guys to figure out how to come together. Start talking about this thing and working it through. You guys can figure this out. Mr. Fields, I knew something about you. I was just not buying this thing this attitude you were having. No matter how hurt you get and how often you're misunderstood or even how often you get it wrong, you can begin again. You started off the right way, doing right by this little girl.
Might as well be with her.
Step back into the picture and be present again, all right? Don't let anyone or anything stop you. That's your baby. Miss Sowers, you say your 14-year marriage has been turned upside down by Ms. Roton's claim that your husband fathered her 5-month-old son, Aiden. You claim that Ms. Roton is a home-wrecking harlot, but there is no way your husband fathered her child. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ms. Roton, you stated in your court papers that Ms. Sowers is, quote, a pathetic old lady who can't hang on to her man. Yes, you believe her husband fathered your child, and you intend to prove paternity today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Sowers, what do you mean Ms. Roton is a home-wrecking harlot?
Me and Adam have been married for 14 years. She has tried to destroy my marriage. She's tried to put this baby off on Adam, saying it's his baby. She's tried to file child support papers, which I have right here.
That you asked for.
And you know, the strange thing about it is in Horry County. Isn't that something?
It's Horry County.
Horry County.
If you could read, you'd know it was Horry County.
Jerome, let me see those papers.
It's not my fault you couldn't keep your husband.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Horry County.
So these are child support papers filed with the court.
Yes, ma'am.
That Mr. Sowers asked for.
Ms. Roton, just to be clear, you believe Mr. Sowers, a married man, is the father of your son.
I know he is. I have no doubt in my mind, not one. Or I wouldn't be here.
He's not the
months
father,
ago, neither.
and I want the results.
You gonna get him?
Don't cry when you see him, honey.
Ms. Roton, can you tell the court how you got into a relationship with a married man?
Him and my mutual friend stayed the night at my house, and he just decided he didn't want to leave.
So take me to the night this whole thing basically transformed from we have a mutual friend to a sexual relationship. How did we get there?
Well, he was just being charming and like trying to be nice and friendly, extra friendly.
What do you mean by extra friendly?
Like
Making
just,
the couch
like,
look good.
saying I'm beautiful and just all kinds of sweet stuff, like trying to, you know, get in my head.
So wait, he just says a few nice things to you and then you end up having sex with him?
It was a lot more than that.
That's about it.
At this point, did you know he was married?
No.
Yes.
So your mutual friend just basically comes and says,
He didn't
hey,
tell me that.
He never tells you this guy's married.
No.
Then how often would he come over after that?
Every day.
He was spending the night every day?
Yes, ma'am. Sleeping in my bed.
So, Ms. Sowers, how did you find out about this relationship?
I had a friend up the road that says, your husband is at a girl named Chrissy's house. And I'm like, where is that? And she gave me the location, and his car was there.
So that gives you the right to come in my front door?
Well, I knocked on the door.
You did
They
not?
didn't answer. And I walked in, and the first time I called them, they were on the couch. And I pulled Adam out off the couch and
That's
said,
a
let's
lie.
go. And you ran in the back room.
That's a lie.
No, it's not a lie.
Because Adam stayed with me and you left. You
No,
told him
no,
you
he
were
didn't.
done.
He left with
And
me.
he stayed with me like he always did.
He left.
Oh. So, you just chilling out at your house, living your normal life, and someone says,
Normal
you know
life.
your husband's down the street.
Yes, because he was missing a lot. And I wondered where he was.
With me.
Yeah. And he was
Making
at her
babies.
house.
Oh, so he was missing all night?
Well, he would go, he'd leave at certain times of the night, and I'd wake up and he wasn't there.
He showed up at my house 3 o'clock in the morning.
So,
Yeah,
he
I
would
did-
show up at your house at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all times of night. Just come in and get in bed with me.
So
You see why? Look at her.
Sounds like
Let's
an
be
ordeal.
respectful.
I'm just saying.
Let's be respectful. So, Mr. Sowers, what are you thinking as you're on the couch with your mistress and your wife barges in?
Oh, he's
What
caught.
are you thinking?
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Wow is right, baby. Wow
Highly
is right.
blown away on that
But you
tip.
ain't-
But,
You were blown away?
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, but me and her were still in a rocky position on relationship, arguing, going back and forth, and
What'd you tell me after that happened, Adam? That y'all were separated, right?
So then, Ms. Roton, at some point you find out you're pregnant.
Yes, ma'am.
Take me to that time. What happened when you found out?
I felt like sick, like, you know, I didn't feel like myself. So I took a test and I told my best friend, and he was the second person I told. He was very excited. He wanted it to be a boy, and he was very excited.
Ready to name them and everything.
Yeah, he was, I mean, offers to get me orange juice and
There's
stuff. But
a
orange juice is
picture.
really the only thing I could drink.
So, Ms. Sowers, how did you find out your husband may have gotten his mistress pregnant?
I drove up, tried to find him. There was his car at her house, as usual. And I opened the door, and he's on one side of the bed, she's on the other, but he's dressed. I'm looking at her, she's in a little tank top. I'm like, are you pregnant? She's like, yes, I'm pregnant.
That's
and
not how it
that's
happened.
Adam's child. And I said, is that true,
not
Adam?
how it happened.
I said, is that true, Adam? He says, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. He didn't,
Did you ever use a condom,
deny, and he didn't, you know, either way, because there were other men involved in this
That's a
situation.
lie.
There were other men
That's a lie.
that she had been sleeping with. 7
That's a lie.
total to be.
I've been with 8
7.
people my entire life, baby. Why don't you state some facts?
Miss Sowers, how did you know she was sleeping with 7 other men?
She doesn't.
Because they were all informing me, and everybody had been talking on Facebook.
Yeah, name them. I want to know.
Oh, did you actually see, though? Miss
No.
Sowers, did you actually see her sleeping with
yes,
anybody?
ma'am, I did. One day, I come back to the house, and Adam's car was there. So I walked in again. There was a guy on a couch, another guy on a couch, and that door was closed. Well, when that door was closed, there was something going on in there.
Yeah, it was you and your husband.
I opened the door, and there was a guy on top of her, and I shut the door,
It was
and
your
I
husband.
caught. No, it wasn't my husband.
Yes, it
it
was
was
your
somebody. No, it wasn't.
You've never-
Wait,
And
you
I walked
opened her
out.
bedroom door?
Yes, I
ma'am.
did, because I seen my husband's
What
car
in the
there.
world?
She comes
Well,
to
the
my
door
house,
was
first
always
of all,
open.
unannounced.
I mean,
Second
she
of all,
had
comes to my
people coming
bedroom.
in and out like a revolving door.
No, that's a lie.
Miss Roton, you don't believe in locking no doors?
No, I'm in my own house.
This is almost unbelievable.
I'm in my own
though.
house. Why should I have to lock my door if I'm in my own house?
I
Not
mean,
some
look,
crazy lady coming to my house.
look, I do not approve of the behavior, but I'm just saying, if you sleeping with somebody's husband, you got to at least lock the door.
They were separated. That's as far as I knew.
Especially when his wife has already decided she
Can come right
gonna
on
walk
in.
on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my husband. I'm gonna claim him. He's
Apparently
gonna
y'all were
come on with
separated at
me.
the time. That's what your husband was telling me.
It don't matter. It is.
All right, so you find out now this young woman is pregnant, and your husband says it might be mine.
Yeah.
Now you say you find out somehow that there are other possibilities, that she's
That's a
been with
lie.
like 7 men.
That's a lie.
Everybody was talking.
Who's everybody?
Well, I have a
I mean, is it family members, friends? Is it people in the town, neighbors?
Well, I had a neighbor, and she claimed that her son was a father, could be a possibility of Chrissy's son also.
That's a lie.
And they had crocheted a little blanket, and it had AMR on it.
Aiden's initials
Aiden Michael Roton, yes.
for the baby.
For the baby.
My
Yeah.
son's named after his dad, by the way.
Who was with you when you gave birth to Aiden?
Adam was there, my mother was there, my sister was there, and my best friend was there. He was in the room with me, right next to me.
Well, where are the
Wait a
pictures
minute,
at?
hold
Yeah.
on. So, Miss Roton, you're saying your married lover was in
He's
the
not my lover.
hospital room with you when you delivered your baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you there, Mr. Sowers?
I was there at the end, yes, Your Honor.
So he was there. We don't need no picture, Miss Sowers, when your husband says he was there.
Yeah, he was holding my leg.
Can I tell you how it happened? I'll tell you how it went.
Were you
down.
there, Sonia?
You called me about 2:30 and said, I'm going into labor. I had told the nurse, I said, we are here. Chrissy said, I don't want her in the room.
You're not welcome in my room.
But you called me and told me to come to the hospital and bring you.
Oh, wait a minute.
No, I did not.
Your husband's mistress calls you to tell you that his baby with her is on the way.
Yes, because he was at work.
I don't remember calling you.
Well, you did.
It might have been your husband.
This is incredible.
It is.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's
And
ridiculous.
I mean, it really, it's like a mother and a daughter arguing, because that's pretty much the age difference. How
Yeah,
old are
she's
you, Miss
50.
Sowers?
47.
And how old are you, Miss Roton?
22.
And I am just, I mean, to watch you have to argue with a girl over your husband.
Yes.
Maybe you should get your husband on lock, baby.
I mean, this young woman could be your daughter.
Yeah.
She's young enough.
Yeah.
And then you, Miss Roton, to be in this predicament with a married man.
Yeah, I was unaware until I was probably
Yeah, right.
No.
a couple months
Known
pregnant.
me for years.
You never one time used a condom. Never once.
Well, you should have been on the pill.
That's
you
what
said
I
you
should have
would.
been on.
You said you
don't have to
should have
worry
been
You
about
on
should
the
have kept
pill.
your husband
I
on lock,
can't have
baby.
no kids. I can't have no kids. You don't have to worry about it. That's what I was told specifically.
No,
Miss
it's not.
Sowers,
Never told you that.
Promise
are
to
you
God,
like trying to
strike me
tell
dead.
this young girl that she should have been on the pill and your husband is out
Said
sleeping
she
with her?
was. She said
She
she
said
was.
she was on the pill.
It's all
she lied.
It's all been a lie.
Oh, so you're saying, Mr. Sowers, Ms. Roton said to you, don't worry, I'm on the pill.
Never
Yes,
one
Your
time
Honor.
said that.
Strike me down. Honest
I
to
put it
God,
on my
truth.
son's life. I've never said that.
That's what I was told. You don't have to worry about it.
How this just went on for this long, and it seems like everybody was informed. But it just kept happening. Are you all working on your marriage now, Ms.
We
Sowers?
are doing awesome. We're doing
Thank
better
you.
than
Thank
ever.
God.
You are.
Thank
We
So,
are
God.
actually doing really good.
and so now you're back together, trying to get on the right track, stay on the right track, and you're just interested in seeing, is your husband or are you the father of Miss Roton's child?
The town did a poll, and I believe we have some pictures.
The
that we can-
town did a poll.
No,
Yes.
no. Adam's friend did a poll.
I think we have
Mutual friend that
I think we can
introduced
put the
us,
poll
right?
up. I think we can put the poll up, and we'll see who the father is.
Now this is unbelievable.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense to me. Yeah, that
And
doesn't
guess
even make
what?
sense to me.
The town did a poll.
Yeah.
Where did you see this poll?
Oh, it's all over. It's all over Facebook. The whole. Everybody knows about
It's
everything.
a social media poll.
Yes. And you see, Adam was 12%.
I told him I didn't care. I mean, I know who the father of my son is, so I don't care.
That's
And who is this other guy?
That's the guy I caught her with the day I
He's
went
another
to her
friend
house.
of mine. That February when
Yeah,
I
he was
moved to
definitely
my
not
friend's
there.
house from her house, he'd come by and I said, well, hey, man, where you been all night? Well, I just left Chrissy's house. And I was like, wow.
So this other person, this mystery man, told you that he had been and spent the night at Miss Roton's house.
Ironically, around February, beginning of February 7th, 8th, around
But
that
why
area.
are you sleeping with a woman that all your friends are sleeping with too?
Yeah,
I
that's
need
what
my
wanna
head
know.
checked.
That
I
doesn't
mean,
make
you're
sense.
basically suggesting you're having a sexual relationship with a woman who's also sleeping with your friend.
Yep.
Which I wasn't. Yeah, and he
And
knows
I'm not
that.
gonna lie, this is absolutely ridiculous, but I'm mad for Aiden because no baby deserves to have
Thank
their
you.
face,
Thank you.
their newborn face, up on some social media poll.
Thank you. They think
That-
it's hilarious.
No,
Don't
that's
worry.
ignorant.
No, I
It's
don't.
very stupid. It's
I don't
very
think it's
ignorant and
hilarious,
childish.
But I know what I know.
All right,
Stop.
what a mess. You know what? I don't think I
They're
even
my
want to hear anymore.
baby.
Jerome, you know what? I'm looking at this beautiful little boy. All I can say is let's get the results for Aiden.
Yeah. Yeah. Great business.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. And they read as follows. In the case of Sowers versus Roton, when it comes to 5-month-old Aiden Roton, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Sowers, you are the father.
Thank you. Have a nice life. What? Nobody's sleeping around, baby. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That is your little boy.
It sure is.
And the poll was incorrect.
Adam will.
Yep.
Not a doubt in my mind, Adam.
Mr. Sowers, I'm happy to hear that you say you're back on track in your marriage, but you got to get it together. Because as you can see, these affairs and this cheating, it's wrong anyway, but it also can produce little people. As disappointing as this situation is, I am happy Aiden will at least know who his biological father is
with him, hopefully.
and be able to have a relationship. And I'm happy, Ms. Sowers, that you're willing to accept him. And I hope now that you all can figure out how you will co-parent in a productive way